Hello dear students, welcome in this second part of the first chapter, and we are discussing about the asexual reproduction. The next type of asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation in plants, or you can say vegetative reproduction in plants. Further, vegetative propagation or vegetative reproduction is broadly classified into two types, that is natural type of vegetative propagation or artificial type of vegetative propagation. Okay, so what are the two types of vegetative propagation? So these are broadly classified into natural and artificial. Further, natural type of vegetative reproduction is further divided into five subtypes. These are underground stem vegetative propagation or reproduction by underground stem, vegetative reproduction by subaerial stem, vegetative reproduction by roots, vegetative reproduction by leaves, and vegetative reproduction by bulbs. Further, artificial is also subdivided into three forms, that is cutting, layering, and grafting. Again, underground stems are of different type. They have a different type of modifications, and that's why they are termed different names, that is rhizome, tuber, bulb, corm. We have to discuss one by one in some detail later on. And some aerial stems are runner, offset, sucker, Stalin. Okay, so let's start with the vegetative propagation and natural vegetative propagation. What is vegetative reproduction or vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation or reproduction simply stands for the reproduction other than the specialized structure, that is spore or fission or bud. So these type of structures are not involved at all. Only vegetal part, not reproductive part, only vegetative part of the plant is involved in such type of mechanism. Actually, vegetative propagation always, you can say, strictly used for the plant reproduction, that is asexual reproduction in plants. So vegetative part, when used for the reproductive processes to grow a new plant of same type, this is called vegetative propagation. Okay, now what is natural vegetative propagation? Nature is very wise and it always have some devices to spread itself in a varieties. That's why nature adopt another phenomena other than asexual and sexual reproduction. Although we study vegetative propagation in asexual reproduction, but it is slightly different from exact asexual reproduction. But why it is considered under asexual reproduction? Because this type of reproduction or propagation does not involve the formation of fusion or does not involve the formation and fusion of gametes. That's why it considered as asexual reproduction. So the very first structure of natural vegetative propagation is underground stem, and there are so many type of underground stems modifications there are. First one is the rhizome. Rhizome is naturally seen everywhere, near about in our kitchens, in kitchen gardens also. And the best examples are Curcuma domestica, Gingiber officinalis, even Musa paradisica banana, yes, and Canna indica, the cane. So these rhizomes are underground stem. See, this is, if it is a ground level, it is a ground. So these are underground stems, and at every node, so this one is node and this is another node. The distance between two nodes is internode, and that's why it is stem. It is confirmed that it is a stem because node and internodes are present here. Okay, so at each node a small structure appeared, and on getting a favorable condition it grows. Normally this one, when ripened and mature, the another one grows. Okay, like in banana it is very common method used by the farmers. So this is called rhizome. Now next is tuber. Tuber is another modification of this stem, but this time a tuber is tube like a hollow tube like structure, tuber type of structure. The best example is solanum, that is potato. Okay, Solanum tuberosum, and that's why it is a tuber structure. In Solanum tuberosum, underground part have some special type of structures called these nodes. Simply these are called eyes, E-Y-E-I, eye of the potato. Whenever you cut and sow in the soil, this becomes a complete plant, and that's why this is called tuber and vegetative propagation by the tuber method. So one eye is sufficient to grow a complete plant and hence form many potatoes inside. The next structure is bulb. It is very common structure in onion, you know, LMCPA, yes, and this is the stem. This is the stem. A conical disc-like structure is here, very compact, and upper part is the fleshy and scaly leaves. Fleshy and scaly leaves. So, whenever we use bulbs of such species, they easily grow without producing any special structure of asexual type or sexual type. They can easily grow only when you sow the bulb in the soil. So, sowing this, you can get a mature, complete bulb of onion, and that's why it is another method of vegetative propagation, natural propagation. Now, corn, it is another structure like bulb, but a slight difference is there, that so many small dense particles flowers at the top, and so many small particles considered like this. Yes. So this is a corn-like structure, and each solid part, when you detach from the parent and sow in the soil, they eventually grow into the mature one. So this is all about the underground stem. Now move to the subaerial stem. Vegetative propagation by subaerial stems. Subaerial stems means those stems which are slightly above the ground but touch the ground at least. So first structure in the subaerial stem is runner. Runner, simply so many times when you are playing in the ground, you just pull out some grasses. What we call in Hindi is दूब ग्रास, दूब का घास. उसको कई बार आप लोगों ने खींचा होगा, तो जस्ट लाइक वो ऐसे निकलता हुआ चला जाता है, टक 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 टक, लाइक द स्लीव्स जो इसको हम सीते हैं ऐसे, लाइक दिस. सो दिस आर कॉल्ड दूब ग्रास. व्हेन यू पुल दिस, you feel that at a particular distance they are dipped inside the earth, यानी यहाँ पे rootings होती हैं, that's why there are roots. So each root hold the soil, and that's why when you pull it, it produces a sound tick 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 tick. Okay, so runner grass oxalis is the best example. Another best example is cynodon, दूब grass. Okay, अब सवाल ये है कि ये रनर से कैसे फैलता है, मीन्स हाउ इट हेल्प्स इन द वेजिटेटिव प्रोपगेशन. It is very simple. This structure which joins the subaerial stem, which join the two parts of the same grass. When it detach from one another, they separately grow into a different mature plant. They separately now grow into the different mature plant. So by this way, runners help in the vegetative propagation, and this is a natural phenomena. Another natural subaerial stem phenomena is submerged, which is found in the submerged plant. This is offset method. Offset method का मतलब होता है कि offset are like runners, but runners run through a very long distance, but offset runs through a very short distance up to one or two structures. So best example is Ecornia. It is also known as terror of Bengal. Terror of Bengal. इसको टेरर ऑफ बंगाल क्यों बोलते हैं? क्योंकि इकॉर्निया क्रेसिपिस actually it grows at a very higher rate whenever it is present in any of the water bodies, say it is a pond or somewhere else. It grows at a very higher rate and uses almost all of the oxygen in the water body, और उसकी वजह से वहाँ पे जो aquatic animals होते हैं वो die कर जाते हैं. So this is called terror of the Bengal. Okay. Now what is the role of offset in the vegetative propagation? You see the structure, this is called offset. The linking structure which links two bodies together is called offset. It is a submerged type of plant and it is introduced in India due to its beautiful flowers. Especially they appear in the rainy season, near about rainy season, for the beautiful flowers and for their pod structures, green leafy. This structure is very smooth. So this is introduced in India due to this, but now it is a problem for us. So when this offset, this structure get detached as in the runner, the two bodies get separated, and with the virtue of time they grow into a new plant. They grow into a new plant. Now move to the sucker. Sucker is another subaerial structure which is used as vegetative propagule. What happens in the sucker? That a woody plant, the best example is mentha here. Sometimes chrysanthemum is also considered for such type of structures. Above the ground, you see, above the ground, it is the main stem. This is the main stem, and these are the side branches. Branches grow parallel to the ground. Initially, branches grow parallel to the ground, but when leaves going to be start, the leaf primordia going to be work, then it curved in this manner. First of all, it runs parallel to the ground, but when leaves are growing on the branches, they move up to the upper side like this structure. Yes, this is the angle. And the part which is very near to the ground starts rooting, due to which roots are formed. And if these branches are cut up from the main plant, from the main branch, this finally get converted into a mature plant. So this is a sucker. Now next one is stolon. Stolon is another subaerial stem, and it is very similar to the sucker. It is very similar to the sucker. The only difference is that here branches move parallel to the ground and move upward, but here it is strictly bound with this structure, with the two structures. And in both of these structures, roots are rooted inside the ground, very well established, rooted inside the ground. So whenever you break this, or by naturally it is break, so it is again, the both structures again grow into the new plants. So this is all about the subaerial stem method of vegetative propagation. Next one is by the roots. Some plants, some woody plants like Muraya coinigite, Albizia sisu, Albizia lebec, and some other plants like sweet potato, asparagus, and other plants, they produce bulb-like structure or bud-like structure, simply bud-like structure in their roots, and each bud eventually gives rise another plant. So this is the best method. These are some woody plants. Muraya coinigite, Albizia sisu, and Albizia lebec. These are woody plants. Okay. Now, natural vegetative propagation by leaves. The first example is Bryophyllum. Bryophyllum को हम हिंदी में अजूबा कहते हैं. It is also known as पत्थर चट्टा in Ayurvedic medicine. It is used to remove kidney stone sufficiently. Used to remove kidney stone. That's why it is पत्थर चट्टा, means stone cleaver. Okay. Now इसमें propagation कैसे होता है? So Bryophyllum के leaves आपने देखे होंगे. अजूबा is very common plant in our pots. Leaves have grooved margins. You can see leaves have some grooved margins. At each grooved margin, a small plantlet grow, and finally it converts into a small mature plant. A small mature plant. Whenever this small mature plant get detached from the parent body, it eventually converted into a complete Bryophyllum plant. And the same with the Kalanchoe. The structures are similar to the Bryophyllum leaf, but the margins are more serrated, more grooved than the Bryophyllum. Now another example in this section, that is leaf, is Begonia. Begonia is particularly different from this structure because this leaf is like this palmately compound, another structure, and when veins are divided at different positions, these provide a groove-like structure, a node or internode-like structure, and at the surface of that leaf, not at the margin of the leaf. In Bryophyllum and Kalanchoe, the plantlets or bud grow at the margin of the leaf, whereas in the Begonia, the plantlets or plant buds are grown on the surface of this leaf. Here, the bud formation takes place. So this is the only difference. Otherwise, it is considered as leaves, natural vegetative propagation. The next and the last one is the bulbil. The next one and last one is the propagation by bulbils. Bulbils are some specific structures which are present in some of the plants like agave. Agave is one of the best examples for the bulbil type of vegetative propagation. And in agave-like structure, some bulbils grow into the buds and eventually they converted into the new plantlets, and when detached from the parent body, they give rise a new complete plant. So this is all about the natural vegetative propagation. In next video section, we are going to discuss about the artificial vegetative propagation and micropropagation. Thank you.